Hi friends, welcome to Joyfido International. My name is Joyfido and welcome on board. Okay, so in this video today I have really interesting things to chat about. I call this an open letter to President Buhari and African presidents or African leaders. Open letter to them, that's what it is. So why is this necessary? I am in Nigeria right now, and in the last video we did where we talked about this, people are all sending back their comments saying their takes as well about Nigeria and about Africa, and it's so heartbreaking. It is heartbreaking. So first of all, Mr. President, I'm going to say to you, congratulations for your second time in office, for all the fancy party inauguration that has been had, welcoming you back into office. Congratulations. But you see, for me, I like to say to you leaders that it's not enough to go chasing for votes and canvassing and all the things that happen out there when you guys are chasing all these voters and all the citizens of your countries to vote you into power. It's not enough to do that, just to do that. Because when you finish doing all of that and you've got into this office, what then happens is another story. It's a completely crazy story that happens, and this hurts. It hurts because we citizens of this country are not happy with the way you people rule these countries, African countries. Why do you rule Africans as if we're not humans? Why? As if we're subhumans. And I can give you this comparison because I live outside of Africa at the moment. And I have traveled to so many parts of the world. And I see the way these other people treat their citizens. So forgive me if I come here and talk about what I'm not happy about or what is affecting my country that is bothering me. It's bothering me because there are human beings in Nigeria and they should be treated as human beings. At the moment, animals are treated better in other parts of the world than the way Nigerians are being treated. I mean, the last video I explained my experience going to Alaba market and seeing major roads cut off completely, and buses are struggling to get into this river that's been created on the road. Struggling. It took hours sitting on the road. Hours. By the time we got to the market, we did not even spend more than an hour or 2 hours. All of the day went into traveling. This is still one state, one capital, Lagos State. But I take trips. I take road trips from country to country in Europe. And I don't spend, when we go from London or England to Belgium, it doesn't take 2 hours. 2 hours. This is including getting into a ferry, which takes about 90 minutes. By the time we are out of that ferry, within 30 minutes we're in Belgium. Why? Because of the road network. Clear, straight, altered, nicely taken care of, well maintained. Everything is smooth and perfectly working. It is human beings that are ruling these countries. That is about the bit that really bothers me. It is human beings like you, like me, blood flowing through their veins that are ruling these same Western countries that all of us run to go and have a great life. I mean, you, Mr. President, you went to England to spend almost a year for medical treatment in England. happen to know or have heard that there is a well-equipped, state-of-the-art hospital in Abuja right there in your Aso Rock. But you left it behind. You went to England for treatment. Who is treating you in England? Is it not human beings? Who created those hospitals in England? Is it not human beings? Who is maintaining those hospitals? Is it not human beings? So why couldn't the same be done with your hospital in Aso Rock? I wouldn't say why wouldn't the same be done, because I know the same is being done, but you do not trust the people that are in Aso Rock, supposedly in your hospital, to take care of you. Because you don't believe that they have the knowledge, or you don't believe they're good enough for your well-being. So you went to England for special treatment, spent over a year there. Nobody knows how much money that cost. This will not happen in England. Theresa May will not leave England and go to another country for medical treatment. Why would she do that? Because that would be taxpayers' money. And they will query her. And she will have to explain to the nation why the hospitals in her country, NHS, that has been spent, money spent in those hospitals, were not good enough for her. But no, in Africa, you guys will do it. You're not the only president who's done that from Africa. All you African leaders do it. You leave your country after spending millions and billions of dollars to get yourself some special, well taken care of hospital, or well-equipped hospital. You leave it. Your own citizens do not get such facility. We don't. Nigerians don't have access to even a good road, to talk about a hospital. I mean, the one that shocked me today, I went out to Idumota market. Idumota. You don't want to see the buses that carry Nigerians in this country. You don't want to see the buses. They don't even have, you know, the basic form that covers a chair. They do not exist in the buses in Lagos. I mean, you will not know this because you don't use public transport, Mr. President. You probably have never been in a position to use public transport. But if you've ever been in that position, you probably have forgotten what it felt like. But I had to take it because there was no other way of getting into this market. If I had taken a privately driven car, there would have been nowhere to park the cars or the car. So I had to take public transport. And you don't want to see the state of these buses that human beings go into. Now, what I say to all of you African leaders is, it is the same land. It is the same land provided by God in Africa that is in Europe, that is in America, that is in Russia, that is in Asia. I went to China. And in China, we did not even see the train track to tell you how highly equipped or how highly technical these infrastructures in these parts of the world are. We could not see the train track. Every train station in China, it's better than Murtala Muhammed Airport. I'm telling you what I saw. And as you get into every station in China, your bags have been taken through, you know, they're checking through your bags, and every point in a station is equipped with about 6 or 7 staff. And all these staff are young kids, between 20 or 21 to maybe 25, 26, young kids. Putting your bag through electronic system that just checks through your bags without any human being saying to you, open your bag. But arrive in Murtala Muhammed Airport and some fat-bellied man calling himself customs officer, grown man, probably in his 50s, is one standing there telling you, open your bag. What are you looking for? This can only happen in Africa. And now, this is where my problem is. I am African and I'm very proud being African. A very proud Nigerian too. But you live in the West and people look at you with the weirdest of eyes. People treat you like you're an animal. People do not have any regard or respect for you the minute they see a black person, and an African too. Why? Because they look at us based on what you leaders have created and shown to the world. When you have countries that are run in this way, why would anybody have regard for us Africans anywhere we go? Why? If you had any bit of respect for us, would you not provide decent roads for us? Would you not provide decent airport for us? Would you not provide basic infrastructures? Every infrastructure that I knew in Lagos is all dilapidated right now. Completely dilapidated. Every building I saw was either leaking, broken down. What is going on? This is 2019. And Africa is as if we're retrogressing while the rest of the world is progressing. We're looking at artificial intelligence. I'm reading some magazines that all over the place in France, Paris airport. Magazines being given to people free, advertising what's going on in the airport, what is happening, where places to visit in France. You know, expecting people to come, encouraging people to come. When you arrive in Murtala Muhammed, like I say to everybody who cares to listen, the line of people coming into the country, you know, when they say foreigners and nationals, nationals is the whole pay. Everybody in that plane are nationals. The people that go to foreigners are 2-3 people. What does that tell me as a student of traveling and tourism? It tells me this country does not encourage tourism. Because if this country encouraged tourism like I experienced in Marrakesh, same Africa, Morocco, everybody on the queue were foreigners. Everybody. And getting into the country was the easiest thing you could find. Right near the airport, they stamped your passport with your visa. And as we were walking out, all they said, all another person did was confirm that the passport had been stamped. Nobody bothered with our luggage. Nobody. We just put it through the scanning machine and that was it. Marrakesh, Africa. That country is making billions from tourism. Now, the one I had to the end, my heart was practically bleeding. What was this? I get into Idumota and someone's taking me, a nice young lady, a friend of mine, willingly took me out. And we get into this Jankara market, or I can't remember the exact name of this market, right there in Idumota, another little part of it. And there's this road, again, completely cut off. Lack of drainage. Lack of drainage. Now, anyone watching this who is used to me, go to my Facebook account, you will see that video. I did a little video showing this, because that's how bad I felt about it. There was this young man, all dressed up, because it's a Sunday, all dressed up, maybe coming back from church, got onto an Okada, that's what they call it, that's a bike ride, and they got stuck in this ocean. It's like an ocean. The road completely cut off with water, and people were just driving through it. This is happening in 2019 in Lagos State, in Nigeria. The man they couldn't drive through it, so he had to come down. He's wearing white. His whole trousers were completely stuck in the whole thing. How do you feel as a Nigerian watching that, knowing that this will not be happening anywhere else in the world? Except, of course, countries where they lack everything. Nigeria is not supposed to lack. Nigeria is rich. God made us rich. I know that. Because the natural resources in this country, most countries in the world don't have it. And yet they are rich countries. I mean, one of my researches I did on Qatar. Qatar has how many million people? Qatar's resource resources is well managed and is being invested in the country. I saw this pot, no, I won't call it pothole because I can call it a river. This river, and I'm asking my friend, and I said, what is going on here? Why do they not worry about fixing these roads when they see these things beginning to happen? Well, she said to me, this is what a Nigerian living in Nigeria knows. When people, when individuals who live in that neighborhood or well-to-do people who use that road often say to the government they want to fix this road, they are told not to do it. They are told not to do it. Yes, because they have to put that road in their budget. They have to find a way to put that road somewhere to allocate money for the repairs of the road. And when they do that, that money naturally will not be used to fix the road. That money goes into their private accounts. What is wrong with us Nigerians? What is wrong with us? Why can we not think that if we make the country good for all of us, we will reap better, we will gain more? Why do we not think that? Why are we so bent on destroying everything God created in this country? Why? So they tell people not to fix roads because they want to make money out of it. And so you put the rest of the country in jeopardy. You put everybody in destitution, desperation. Why? And yet you, after you've amassed all this wealth, you take all that money, you go and dump it in some Swiss account, in some American account, in some European account. Why? So that you and your family will take this fancy holiday and you show off to your friends that you visited Dubai, you visited Qatar, you went to Saudi Arabia, you went to England. What does that do for you? Because you will still come back from all these places. And when you come back from these places, you will still drive on that road. Because you're not going to take a helicopter to cross that water and get to your house. At some point, you will drive on that road. But when you don't think in your right sense of thinking that that road needs to be fixed, so that the people around you will feel human. Worst case scenario, tax people on that road. And when you tax people, maybe the money will come back to you one way or the other. But there is no point putting people through this craziness that you people do and call it government. This is madness. This is a letter to you, Mr. President. What is going on in Nigeria is madness. That's you in office now for this next term, 4 years. And if the first 4 years there was nothing to write home about, is this going to be better? Because all I kept hearing was, we're chasing corruption. We're chasing corruption. I've been told over and over by everybody that could tell me what's going on in Nigeria that corruption is embedded in the system. Because if something as stupid, or how should I say, as fixing a road could be seen as don't do it because I'm going to look for a way to make money out of that bad road, I think there's a problem. I think there is a problem. Because no matter how much you want to chase corruption, look at a scenario like this. People who have money well without enough means to take care of fixing roads. When I saw this same scenario on Alaba Road, that was a question I asked. Why can't these market people think about their business and say, let's fix this road for ourselves? Little did I know that even if they had offered to fix it, they would have been stopped by the local government, by the various people that connect in government offices. Listen, government is not in the business of making money. You're not in the business of making money. You're in the business of governing the people. You're in the business of seeing that people's welfare are okay. You're in the business of securing a nation. Right now, there's no security in Nigeria. Absolutely none. Why is this the case? Now, let me explain to you some of the things I know based on my experiences in life. You people who are so rich, you don't know what to do with money, and you're so happily sending Nigeria's money to Western world, Swiss account, and all the various accounts in the world. This is what's going on. When you send these monies to these parts of the world, what they then do is they use your money to take care of their own people, to take care of their country. Because they know you're going to take that money and dump it with them and not do anything with it. They know you're not going to come and use that money. They know you cannot possibly finish that money in your lifetime. So you've just given them money free of charge. Because they don't even pay you any interest. As far as you're concerned, Mr. Corrupt Nigerian politician, all you are interested in, let nobody know that you have money. And so let me sneak it away and go and hide it in some unknown account to Nigerians. But what you end up doing is you've practically stolen from the Nigerian and gone to give to these Swiss completely free. And so when you do things like this, the Nigerian loses out. But okay, so if you can go and bring back all these monies that you have taken out, and then we do something like this, there's something they call PPP, Public-Private Partnership. That's what most Western worlds are using to develop their countries. So please research this. Please check this out. Google it. Update your knowledge. Because when you do this, what happens is these rich individuals who don't know what to do with their money will be investing in the country. And when you invest in the country, at least you kill two birds with one stone. Your money will grow. The country is growing. Do you see how amazing this could be? Everybody wins. The typical ordinary Nigerian will be happy. They will have a decent road to drive on. Because work is constantly going on. Because infrastructure is being created by these PPP programs, people are employed. People will be in full employment. There will be roads being fixed constantly. Which in England, most nights by 2 a.m., 3 a.m., roads are being fixed, maintained constantly. And that's why you see the roads, they are always top-notch. Same thing in France. All of Western world, that's what they do. So roads will be constantly fixed. That's employment. Train stations will be built. That's employment. Museums, hospitals, airports will be built. I mean, a place like New York has 3 airports. New York alone has 3 airports. Lagos State with 22 million people. And yet, every other state around Lagos State is still depending on this one Murtala Muhammed airport. Is it not about time Lagos State gets at least 3 airports? Now, since you people are so good at copying, oh, Western world people, oh, they live such amazing life, they live in fancy houses. In Nigeria, there was a program I watched, Lagos to London. A Nigerian will go and buy a house in London, 40 million pounds, 100 million pounds, central London. But some projects in Nigeria could cost that. Investment. You could take on a project and spend that kind of money to fix something. You could build an amazing mall, rent it out. People are shopping there. People are selling there. That's employment. Now, if we take on all this infrastructure, shopping malls, roads, train stations, you know, all I'm interested is in the development of Nigeria. Because in the process of creating development, you end up creating employment. And if you have created employment, do you see how security will not be a major problem anymore? You know why? Because right now people are bored. People, you know how they say it, the unemployed mind is the devil's workshop. Unemployed mind is the devil. So what's happening is our But youths who are all leaving universities, knowing full well that there is no job anywhere, all they're doing is thinking of the next crime to commit. And then you, Mr. President, you had to go around telling the world last time, Nigerians are lazy. Why would they not be lazy? They'll be lazy because you have not given them anything to do. So do you see how we can all win if you can invest money in building infrastructure in this country? You will win a lot of things. Your legacy will be written down in gold, if possible. People will not forget what you did for them. You create employment, our future, the future of our country will grow. Because we will know there's something that our children are growing up towards. For people like me, people in diaspora, we want to come back home. We want to come back home to add to the development going on. We want to come back home to gain proper employment. Because trust me, ask the Nigerians who are out there chasing. What are we chasing out there? When we have a country we could come and work in, or a country we can all come and contribute to its growth and development. Why would we be chasing other people? Nigerians are tired, Mr. President. We are tired. We are tired of these continuous lies. We're tired of this continuous treatment as if we're not humans. We're tired of it. We need people like you to sit up and fight for the good of this country. Fight for the growth of this country. One thing you should remember, Mr. President, is Nigeria has the highest population in Africa. If Nigeria gets it right, the rest of Africa will get it right. The rest of Africa is looking up to Nigeria. And yet right now, Nigeria is nowhere near the top. South Africa is doing a better job. Angola is even doing a better job. I went to the World Tourism Market recently. Nigeria has not been in that market for the past 5-10 years, if not. Why? That's a place where countries all over the world come and showcase their country. It is a market where you showcase what makes your country great. And each time I go there looking to see my country, they're nowhere to be found. So what makes us this giant of Africa? Why do we call ourselves giant of Africa? If we cannot be giant when the rest of the world are showing what giant means. The rest of the world is looking up to Nigeria. The rest of Africa is looking up to Nigeria. Nigeria needs to stand up. We need to stop this game of craziness called corruption. We need to stop it. Because one thing I really must tell all of you who think corruption is the best thing to do in the world is, we only have one life. You know that? Only one life. You may amass all this money, lock them all up in Swiss accounts, and then the next day your creator says, that's enough now. Come back home. What happens? What happens? What legacy have you left behind? That money is stuck in some foreign bank. It happened with Abacha. We all know that. So it is absolutely of no use to think that money is the be-all and end-all in this world. It is not. Nobody goes anywhere out of this world with this money. When your spirit leaves, it is just your spirit that leaves. Your body, you know how the Bible says it, earth to earth. Your body just decays with earth, and that's it. Spirit is gone. Not one penny you amassed and stole goes with you. So while you're stealing and stealing and stealing to the point of, let me cripple these people that I say to them that I'm going to rule them, you have a lot of questions to answer to your creator. You do. That's not down to me, but you do. Because now it's going to ask you questions. You were supposed to be leading people. What happened? So, in the interest of leaving a legacy, in the interest of growing a country, in the interest of having that have peace of mind, where you don't have to worry when you leave office about what people will do to you. Because I think people forget. I know Nigerians are one set of really, really sane people. The things happening in Nigeria will not happen anywhere else in the world, I'm telling you. In UK, politicians are stoned with egg. Recently, somebody took milkshake and poured on somebody for lying to them. People are being sued for lying. That they said something and then it turns out that wasn't the right thing. They sue you. So the things you people are doing in Nigeria, you will not, nobody does it anywhere else in Western world. They don't do it. But I think it is time we wake up. I think it is time Nigerians wake up to understand that we should not accept this behavior anymore. We should stop accepting corruption as if it is a part of life. It is not. I'm going to stop here. Please, if you watch this video, share it with your friends. Because I really want us to wake up to reality. That this is 2019. That we have children to raise. We have a legacy to leave behind for our future generations. We have Africa to protect as a continent. Because the way things are going, everybody wants to run away from Africa. So when we all do run away from Africa, what's going to happen to our continent? Colonialism will come back again. Because the white people are watching. They know. They know the amount of resources that this country or this continent possesses. So when we finish messing around, they will come and take us again, just like the slavery times. Is that what we're looking for? Don't we think it is time we take control of our own destiny? Thank you so much for watching, and God bless you. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.